The Supreme Court has wrapped up a landmark year with a landmark decision. The court ruling today that the Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA as it's known, is unconstitutional. The law had banned the federal government from extending federal benefits to same-sex couples that had been legalized by marriage by the states. But could this ruling also be a big win for the economy? Joining me now is Ken Weissenberg. He's a CPA and attorney. He is openly gay and is married with a couple of children. And Ken, thank you for stopping by this afternoon.
Pleasure to be here.
Congratulations on a pretty big victory.
Thank you.
So let me ask you, because I saw this from a friend posted on Facebook, that the Supreme Court just handed a 35 million Americans a tax cut, and that conservatives should be happy about this. Is this something that is really going to start financially benefiting? First, we'll start with gay couples.
I think gay couples will definitely benefit from this. As a married same-sex couple, we can't file couldn't file joint tax returns until today. And not only can I file a joint tax return for 2012, which I put on extension, but I can go back to 2009 and file amended returns for 2009, 10, and 11.
Okay.
Each year, it costs about $5,000 in additional tax just on an average basis.
And that money, look, the conservative argument has always been you pay less taxes and you put that money back into the economy. So where else do you think this is going to help the economy?
Certainly in terms of same-sex couples, there's now more certainty in how they can live their lives. Retirement savings are more secure. You know that when you put your money into your retirement plan, your spouse will benefit from that plan. You'll have the tax benefits of that, so you'll have more savings that way, which generates additional funds throughout the economy. Health insurance coverage is now not taxable to the spouse who provides the coverage, so that that'll save a couple of $1,000s in taxes, but also it provides medical coverage, which might not have been available for spouses
before. Do you think that American corporations have been ahead of the federal government on this? Because most major corporations, I believe now, extend benefits to same-sex couples.
With the exception of a couple of notable ones, most major corporations have extended benefits to same-sex couples, but most of them have not done anything about the tax issue. Several large corporations have actually done a gross-up of the additional tax costs for health insurance coverage. But that's been a limited number of companies.
Have you already been getting calls from clients saying, how is this going to impact me?
I've gotten several calls today from clients and from several people who weren't clients before who now need help with their taxes, reviewing their prior year's returns to see if they're eligible for refunds.
Okay, so what is basically next here? Because the Supreme Court has handed a relatively strong victory on some levels, but this does still come down to the states. And so how are couples going to deal with the fact that in some states it's legal to be married and in others it is not, and how does that impact their financial decision making?
Well, for those who live in states where marriage is legal or recognized, which is about 16 states right now, life has just gotten immeasurably better. For those who live in the other states, there's still a lot of uncertainty. For some federal agencies, they recognize marriages performed based on where they're performed. So if you get married in Europe, in one of the countries that allows it, or in South America, in one of the countries that allow it, or in any of the now 13 states, plus the District of Columbia that allow it, your marriage will be recognized for those purposes for federal.
That appears to federal, but it may not be recognized in other states. That decision has not yet been reached.
Right. And in the other states, if let's say I moved to Oklahoma because my job moved in Oklahoma, I don't know if my marriage is recognized in Oklahoma, so I don't know if I can file a joint federal tax return in Oklahoma. And that remains to be seen.
That remains to be seen.
And based on today's ruling, they never got to the merits as to whether there's a right to same-sex marriage.
You know, the court went this way, but the country is clearly moving in this direction. Do you think that this victory has just about been won?
I think so. I think it's just a matter of time before all 50 states allow same-sex marriage.
Okay, Ken, thank you so much. Ken Weissenberg, CPA and attorney. Congratulations on the victory today. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the economy over the next few years.
Thank you.
Okay. In other news, business headlines today, Nigerian officials are protesting a British visa proposal that they call, quote, discriminatory. Britain plans to impose a £3,000 bond on visas for first-time visitors from, quote, high-risk countries in Africa and Asia. Nigeria says the move would, quote, definitely negate the two countries' commitment to double trade by 2014. And it seems like common sense in a tight job market, or any job market for that matter in this day, that you should watch what you say and do online. But a survey by CareerBuilder found applicants are sharing way too much on their social networking site. 43% of employers say that they have decided not to hire a candidate because of something they posted on their public profile, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. So look up your YouTube and Facebook pages for recent clips that you may have posted up there, and you should probably clean them up, because if you are a beer-drinking, drug-using racist, and these are some of the reasons that people are not getting jobs, you should just keep posting them, actually, because no one should hire you. You are watching Arise Exchange.